evening, everyone, and thank you for coming. I've invited you all here to help be a part of my first speech for my public speaking class. My name is Cetire Retamar, and I'm 64 years young. I'm enjoying my last year at BCC, getting my associate's degree in office administration. I see the curious looks in your eyes as you look upon this beautiful Christmas bag behind me. I know you're very curious, but we're going to talk about the bag later on, okay? I promise. I'm just going to tell you a little about my background, about where I was born. I was born right here in the big town of Lakeboro, North Carolina. But at a very young age, we moved to New York City. It was in Brooklyn, New York, where I met and married my husband of 40 years. Just a little bit about my work history. I worked for the New York City Board of Education. We helped to teach special ed children in reading, writing, and math. And they weren't really physically disabled, but they was mentally short memory lapses, okay? And I worked with them for 17 years. I grew tired of the city life and tired of the stuff that was going on around me. It was just getting too much, so I decided to move back to North Carolina. So we moved back to Charlotte, North Carolina first. And there I got a position with Bank of America, and I worked with them for 12 years. They started outsourcing jobs during that year, between 2004 and 2007, they started outsourcing jobs. So I lost my job. So it was at that point I decided to move back home. And one of my family members just so happened to have a home for sale. So I moved back to Lakeboro, North Carolina. After being out of work for 4 years, I finally found a job with BB&T, and I worked with them for 5 years. The job was so stressful. I was tired of it, so I retired. Thank God. And I've been retired for 2 years, and I'm loving it. I get a chance to spend time with my grandchildren and my children. In the midst of all these jobs and moving back and forth, I had 5 beautiful children. I have 2 beautiful girls, Adeline and Christine, and 3 handsome sons, William Jr., Adam, and Joshua. Joshua is the baby, and he kind of pushed his mom back to school so she could finish her degree. And I thank him for that.
Great job.
We also have 13 grandchildren and 1 great-granddaughter. The ages are from 6 months to 20 years old. And they're awesome. When we all get together, I'll tell you, there's nothing like family. Family is very important to me. And as we get older, we need the youth in our lives. And you got to remember that. If you don't have children, get to love your nieces, nephews, cousins, whatever. Because family is very important as you age. Now, what you all been waiting for is what's in the Christmas bag. There are 3 items in that bag that are very special to me. They have a lot to do with what's going on in my life, and they're dear to my heart. So let's look at the first item in my bag. Ta-da! Uh-oh, can't get out. Oh, man, it is.
It's okay, take your time.
These are my glasses. Let me use that, man. Ooh. This here is my Bible. And I've learned that in my life and doing the lives of others, we need Christ in our lives. But I believe that without God, I wouldn't have been able to make it. So I love him as my Savior. And he's the Savior of my soul. The second item in my bag, ta-da, is my family. It's a photo of my family with all my children and my grandchildren. There's some missing, but we're going to take a new one sometime soon. But like I said, family's important. My third item, ta-da, Christmas ornaments. Christmas is the best, one of my favorite holidays, because during that time people are more loving, they're more giving, and they're more caring. So it should be Christmas all year round, because people are better acting. To my friends and my family, I say thank you for coming and sharing this speech with me, and I appreciate you. Love you very much.